Dash Talk presents Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now, here's your host, Miss Charline.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. And today we have in our studio, I'm so excited, Kenneth Woods, and we call him Woods. And he is a touring tech, and we're going to learn about that. Because, you know, for me, when you go to a show and you see the star out front and they're doing their thing, you never really understand what goes on behind the scenes to make them look so great. And sound so great. So we have someone in our studio today who can talk about that. So thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate this.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So this is your first time on our show, and I want to know a little bit about you. So I want to know, like, where you're from, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I grew up in Long Beach, California.
Okay.
And I'm from that area, pretty much. I grew up as an athlete, but I've always had a family in the music industry and been really into music.
Nice.
In the last couple of years, I've taken the steps to become professional as a tech in the music industry.
Right. Now, when a tech, what does that exactly mean?
A tech could range from an audio engineer, a backline person who takes care of the band and all the musicians. It could range from someone who programs the music and is playing it back live at the show, and or someone who just controls all the sound.
Oh, wow. So that's an important job. That's a really important job because you get angry and there's no sound. That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
The last things the fans want is no music.
Exactly. Now, the industry that you're in, it's like a multi-million-dollar industry. And the touring tech is a huge part of that. I mean, huge, because like you said, if there's no sound, if there's no music, there's really no show. So what I'd like to know is your part is pretty major. Like, I went on your Twitter account. I was checking you out. And I saw that you've toured with Sierra, the Jacksons, will.i.am, and etc., right?
Oh, wow.
Who's etc.? Who's etc.?
Etc. would be the likes of like Schoolboy Q, Meghan Trainor, Evan Ross, Pharrell Williams, Lil Wayne, Miguel, Charlie Puth.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure I'm leaving out a lot of people.
That's okay. That's huge. That is extremely big. Now, I could not imagine how hard it must be to be on tour. And what is life like on the road for you?
Life on the road is like your house in a suitcase.
Oh my God. I love that description.
Yeah, we live on airplanes and tour buses. It can be pretty hectic, but it can be pretty fun too if everything is going well.
That's cool. You know, I always think of it like being glamorous. And I'm sure when you first started, you were like, wow, I get to go to all these cool places.
Exactly.
And then it kind of turns into a job.
And then you realize that you're going to be somewhere, but for 17 hours of the day, you're going to be working and you're not going to have time to go see most of those places unless you have a day off.
Wow. And the tour time, right? Like the time to get to these different countries and these different places too. It takes quite a while to get there.
Yeah, most, if you're traveling outside of the United States and you guys got like a European tour or something like that, then most destinations will probably be 10-hour drives after a show. So you take the whole entire day setting up for a show. You guys have the show. You guys wrap up the show, pack up the show, and you drive 10 hours while you're sleeping, and you wake up in a different place and do it all over again the next day.
That doesn't sound glamorous.
No. That's the part that no one hears about.
Exactly. Now, what drives your passion in this area, and what made you decide to do this as a career?
I love music. It's always been a really big thing and a big part of me and my family. And when you're thinking about what you want to do as far as a career and what you like and what your passion is, you start thinking about what can you do to work but not get so far away from the things you love and like. And so for me, it was how do I make money inside of music while I'm still working on my music, and how do I stay around that environment? And so I just thought about it and said, hey, there's a need for this. And if I'm doing these things, then I'll still be around the music industry. And that's pretty much what I did.
I love that answer, and I respect it so much because I think, at least for myself, what I see is that a lot of times people who want to be in the music industry, they look at it from one dimension. And they say, okay, I'm a writer, or I'm a singer, or I'm a producer. And they just look at it from that dimension. And then when they're not producing or singing or writing or, creating the music, what do they do? Right. And so to be in it, around it, and involved in it from a different aspect not only keeps the paychecks coming in, because this is Lunch with the Finance Bunch, but it also helps keep that creative spark going because you're around all these people, right?
Right, exactly.
I love that. That is genius. How did you get into this?
I have family in the music industry. Was blessed to have an uncle who was like a legend in the industry. He was the first black engineer in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
His name is Calvin Harris. He was an engineer for Motown Records extensively throughout the years of Hitsville. And when they moved here in California, he was here with them. But he mixed everyone under the lights of like Lionel Richie, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, and pretty much every big act out of Motown.
Wow. So between you and your uncle, you probably are like the superheroes of your family, right? Because you can get people to go cool places and go do cool things that the average person can't do.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing for sure.
Wow. I told you this outside. When I met you, it was so refreshing because you are so humble and so, appreciative of what you have an opportunity to do. And I really respect that. Because during our backstage conversation, you kept saying, I just feel so privileged and honored to be able to do what I do, and that's not necessarily the look at the music industry that a lot of people have. So I'm so happy we have you on today.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
Yay! I'm excited. Okay, I have another question.
Okay.
Who is in your top 5 on your playlist?
Top 5 on my playlist. We're just talking about all music.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Right now, I would have to take Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Charlie Puth.
Okay.
Let's see. What else music do I have? Pharrell, of course.
Of course.
Chainsmokers. And this is number 5?
Yep. You're up to number 5. What's the 5th one?
No. it's so big. It's like a big deal. I would probably have to say Adele.
Adele. She's pretty huge. Yeah. I love Adele.
She's really big time.
She really is. Now, what was your last tour that you did? Whose tour did you do last?
The last full tour I did was with Charlie Puth. I was out with him for all of last year.
All of last year?
Yeah, we went to pretty much everywhere. We did all of Europe, all of Asia, all of the United States twice.
Wow. So you don't get home much?
No. I'd be lucky if I was home 4 years out of the month. 4 months out of the year, sorry.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I always look at it like, oh, it's so glamorous. You're out there, you're traveling, you're going to all these countries and all of this. But you do miss your family, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure. You spend a lot of time on FaceTime.
I bet.
Yeah.
Thank God for FaceTime.
Thank God for it, right? Yeah. You spend countless hours on the plane, and the time that you're off the plane, you're pretty much working. So the only time you have to talk to your family is usually after the show or in between breaks. And if you're somewhere where the time difference is 9 hours difference, then
it gets creative, right?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Now, you get to spend a lot of time with the artist. So what's that relationship like?
It's interesting. You don't expect to be spending a lot of time with the artist, but there's situations where you might end up on an artist's tour bus when you guys are sharing a tour bus. And
right.
Typically, that's not, I wouldn't say standard. The artist usually has its own bus, but
mm-hmm.
last year I was out with Charlie Puth, and we actually shared a tour bus together. So I got to see him wake up at 4 a.m. for all this promo stuff and actually see the life that he has to live.
Right.
You know, and I'm not complaining, but I'm saying like, yeah, I'm working 17-hour days, but the actual artist is even working more than that because it's like a nonstop day for them. And you kind of get to see their eating habits, when they get to sleep, the preparation before show, their creativity time, like out of the studio and when they're writing songs on the road.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like there's more to do than there are hours in the day.
Oh, for sure.
Because you would think I would think an artist, I'll think of one in my head, and that they would wake up, like 9 o'clock in the morning and get all glammed up and then go and have a few meals and, then go do the show, like maybe rehearse a little bit and go do the show. But you're right. They have to do promotions and, interviews between and, plus then there's a sound check and then the rehearsal and then their writing and then the album and then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you get like a really cool situation. That Charlie Puth situation, I guess he's a new artist, I would say, and he's doing really well right now. So I imagine he has a lot of promo and stuff to do like that.
Right.
I was out with the Jacksons about 3 years ago, and I was with them also for a year. And there was a time when we were in Asia, and the brothers, Michael Jackson's brothers, got up every single morning and ate breakfast with the crew. And that was an awesome experience because at breakfast, we got to share stories with each other and get to know one another. And they just let us pick their brain about stories about Michael Jackson and their lives growing up and things like that. And it's really cool to hear.
That's nice.
Firsthand. Yeah.
It sounds like you become almost like a family.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Spending that much time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can be with, first night of the show, you could be with strangers. And then you guys are going to sleep on the same bus for the next few months. So over time, you guys definitely bond.
Nice. Now, I don't want you to say any names, but maybe you can tell us about a situation when a artist really cut up, like you've seen them just have some of the worst behavior. I don't want to know who it was, but I do want to know what it was.
Okay. One of the weirdest, strangest things I've ever seen an artist do, maybe this artist was just having a bad day, but we're in rehearsals, and the artist came into rehearsals, and you can just tell that they weren't having a good day. But they asked for a drink of water, and someone brought them a certain brand of water. I won't say what brand it was.
Okay.
But this artist freaked out and was like, "What is this water doing here?" I said, "I never want to see this water again."
Oh my God. The poor person who brought it to them, right? They're probably like, "Oh my God, I don't have a job now."
Yeah, it was pretty crazy over water. So that was one of the things that I was like, wow, it can get pretty hectic.
Wow. I could, but the stress that they're under, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And all of the things they have to do in that 24-hour day, that just seems like it's too much to do in one day. So I can kind of see where they might get stressed out, and one little thing would trigger something huge.
Yeah.
Everybody's standing around scratching their head going, "Water, really?" Yeah. And they're like, "Yes, water," because they're just so stressed out about other things. Well, you know what? I think when we come back, I want to talk about your role as a tour tech and your passion about that when we come back. So we're going to take a little station break right now, and we'll come right back.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And we're back at Dash Talk Radio, and we have in the studio with us Woods. He's a tour tech. Hey, Woods.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So when we came back, we want to now talk about, what is your passion? Is being a tech your passion? And if not, what is?
Not necessarily. Being a tech just kind of pays the bills and keeps me inspired and keeps me around like the top tier musicians and artists and songwriters.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I would like to be and doing as well. But for now, this is paying the bills. So
okay. So you are an artist also.
Oh, yes.
Oh man, that's so cool. That's cool. So do you write?
I write, produce, write singing R&B songs for other people as well. Just try to do everything I can.
Wow. So now you get to see this business from all dimensions then.
Yes.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you a personal question. You don't have to tell me how much, but does a tech in your position make pretty good money?
Yes.
Yeah?
Coming from where I'm from, yes.
Definitely. Okay, I got it. Lunch with the finance bunch, we talk about money, so I throw a little money question in there every once in a while. So how many stamps are on your passport?
I counted on the way here. And I am just over 65.
Wow. Nice. 65 stamps. I want 65 stamps on mine. What was your favorite country that you visited?
Up until last year, it would probably be Manchester.
Okay.
But now it is Singapore.
Ooh.
Singapore was one of the most cleanest countries I've ever been to, and it was just really beautiful.
Everyone says that Singapore is really a clean, beautiful country.
Yeah, it's no crime, and just beautiful everywhere. It's really clean.
So you can kind of relax, not worried about getting hit in the head. But
Yeah, exactly.
as tall as you are, I don't think you have too much to worry about. Like someone coming along trying to hit you in the head, they look at you and say, "Oh, forget it. It's just not worth it. He might beat me up." Now, have you learned any languages from traveling?
Yes, I speak a little French. When I'm there, I can speak it.
French is sexy. The girls like French.
They girls do love French. Yeah.
Any other languages?
A little Spanish, but more of like from Spain.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, the proper Spanish.
for sure.
Okay. Say something.
No.
Put you on the spot. Say something in French. French toast. Right. Now, you've made quite a bit of money as a tech, right? So have you done anything like with investments?
I have dabbled around in day trading a little bit and trying to play with my money. And see.
Oh, so you do it from the that part of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into stocks, and when you're making money, I guess you want to start doing stuff with it, and that's something that I'm really looking into right now. So that's one of the things, investing in like Apple and Google and things like that.
Right. Okay. So we can talk afterwards because I got some ideas for you.
Okay.
Now, what are the pros and cons of touring?
The pros and cons of touring. You make good money. You get to see the world. You get to fly around, stay in fancy hotels, see your favorite artists for free.
Right.
And the not so cool part about it is that you're always traveling. You don't get to spend that much time with friends or family. Your long life friends hardly ever get to see you or talk to you.
Right.
And then you start feeling like you're Hollywood, but you're not. You're just working, and they don't get that. But if you have family, if you have kids, like I have a 5-year-old son, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to take care of him.
Right.
But in his eyes, he just wants me home.
Exactly.
So
that's where
it's very tough.
Right. That's the tough part. Now, you mentioned something. You were saying that sometimes because of the business you're in and the amount of work you do with celebrities, that it becomes a situation where people think you're gone Hollywood and really you're at work.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, for
and
sure.
you're working really hard. So do you sometimes feel like the need to explain yourself, or I'm not having as much fun as you think I am, guys. I'm really working, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm always saying. It's like, guys, it's not everything it seems to be.
Right.
And,
I'm really at work.
Yeah. And
even though I'm hanging out with Pharrell.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm at work.
And I find myself trying to reach out to my friends more now than when I'm home and I have free time, because I noticed that I'm not seeing friends and family as much as I'd like.
Right.
So even though I love my job and I wouldn't trade what I'm doing, it's still tough.
It's still tough, yeah. But I mean, it's a good life, and there are always pros and cons to things. And like I said earlier, I love the fact that you're so grateful for what you do, and that you see it as an opportunity and you respect what you do. Because sometimes, all of us, we get in situations where it's really a blessing and we miss the blessing looking at other things.
Yes, for sure. 100%.
So that's commendable on your part.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to ask your advice. So I'm going to Sacramento next week,
Okay.
right? And I'm going to see the Janet Jackson concert.
Okay.
Are there any tips for how I can get her to come on the show? Like, I want to get her attention. Like, should I get a big old sign and start yelling, Janet? No?
I know a guy who's here right now who might be able to help you with that.
Really?
Yes. For
Oh, we'll talk after. I'm excited. Nice.
Yes.
So, hey, we might be able to get Janet Jackson on the show, guys. I'll probably faint ahead of time, so just be prepared to revive me. But, you get to meet people like that and be a part of what makes them great. And to have that opportunity is just amazing.
Yeah.
Because like we said earlier, without you, there is no sound, so we can hear. I mean, without Q over there on the boards, there would be no sound. He could just cut my voice out, and has all the power. He's pushing the button now. So if you have followers on Instagram and all that, so they get to tour kind of with you, right?
Yes.
So that's the good part. Friends and family, they get to check in.
Check out the Snapchat stories and Instagram Live and all those things. Yes, for sure.
Now, have you had an opportunity to take your family anywhere with you?
Yes, I have. I just came back from a show in New York with Pharrell and Stevie Wonder this past weekend.
Wow.
For the Global Citizens Festival.
Uh-huh.
And I was able to fly my younger sister to New York with me because she had never been anywhere on the East Coast. So I was very happy to be able to do that.
That's cool. So now you're just the greatest in her eyes right now.
Yes, she loves me. I'm winning right now.
You're winning right now. Now, what is you said Global Citizens? What is that? It's like because I know it's like a tour that it's like social awareness and all that.
They do a lot of awareness. They put on awareness clinics, I would say.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I know the last global festival was in Hamburg, Germany.
Ooh.
And before that year, it was in New York as well. So I know that they're doing it all over the world, doing it in different places, trying to raise awareness about certain things.
That's amazing. I love it. Because, I love to see artists do things from more than one perspective. It's not all about the money. It's also about bringing awareness on certain topics. It's also about giving to charities, giving back, and things like that. You yourself are an artist. Right?
Correct.
And you have some music. So I'd like to hear a little bit about your music, and maybe we get to play some.
Ooh, nice.
Breaking. Is this like breaking news or something? I like it.
Yeah, I produce as well as write my own records and things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And I write with other artists as well. And, music is just everywhere. So.
Right. So now, what song are we going to hear played?
You guys are going to hear a song called Summertime Bay that I produced and wrote myself.
Nice. All right. So now when you wrote this song, what were you thinking about when you wrote this song? I want to get into that a little bit.
I was thinking about the beach, summertime, and radio play.
Radio play. I like that. So let's get into your song then. Let's do it.
Okay. This is Summertime Bay.
By
Woods, me. Sorry.
All right. This is Miss Charline with Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Thank you so much for listening. We're on Dash Talk Radio. We're here every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. Thank you so much.
In the streets, dry top, summertime, babe. Bikini body, summertime, babe. My only girl, summertime, babe. Stupid bad, summertime, babe. Summertime, babe. Bikini body, summertime, babe. My only girl, summertime, babe. Stupid bad, summertime, babe. In the streets, dry top, summertime, babe. Bikini body, summertime, babe. My only girl, summertime, babe. Stupid bad, summertime, babe. Summertime, babe. Bikini body, summertime, babe. My only girl, summertime, babe. Stupid bad, summertime, babe. Yeah, yeah. I pull up with the bag on me like, yeah, yeah. Your girl see my whip pull up like, hell yeah. Her best friend say I look familiar. Tell me, where you think you know me from, where you met me? She said I'ma keep it G, probably Long Beach. I won't leave the kitchen till we all eat. I roll up at night. I just wanna do everything right. She just wants my life. I think I don't have no time. I don't wanna be trust no one. I don't know my son.